Are we gonna have to take a cat break?
Cutting around because we have a cat that I might have to keep doing hard cuts to deal with. Need to deal with the games and more.
Well, we can do that shit at off the cuff as balls.
Need to get that later as well.
I thought I did that.
30 times.
You can leave 3 explorers and it should count.
3 times, not individuals. Okay, so now... like, we're starting to wrap up.
In terms of the top row, we have Dark Samus and Captain Falcon. The Great Poison gives form.
Dark Samus has some cool costumes.
I thought some of them are actually kind of fugly. Like that one. What the hell does the green one look like? Oh, whoops. That one's pretty decent, and so is the purple.
That's really cool.
Apparently these are all based off like Metroid enemies and bosses.
I'll go with this one. It's funny!
To talk about the one in Spirit into, like...
It's funny, I was watching someone in streams play the Prime series.
Wait.
2 did not go well.
Wait.
What?
Why is Zelda your partner here? I don't get it. Is it, like, because it's supposed to be Hilda? Is that, like, what we're doing here?
She's in a purple dress.
I guess so, but... Anyway, to explain the one spirit thing and why, like, I had a kind of genuine holy shit moment there, because I'd forgotten that was what you got. From that, basically, there was a game, and I will fully admit this was a personal thing, purely being a child was no inner. Man, but for people, back in the olden days of Melee, some people would say the good days, there were a few trophies in that game that basically, at the time Melee came out, they were just listed as future release, and because they were just listed as future release, they didn't give a name for that. Like, you have trophies for Mystery City and a KK Slider, but because they're based off the Japanese Animal Forest versions, they have their Japanese names, like Toda KK. And one of those trophies, I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, they're on my side. I just noticed that.
Robin and... Yeah, again, I
was trying to murder Robin for like a good solid minute there.
Yeah, again, I don't 100% understand what this classic mode is supposed to be. It was titled The Poison Gives Form, referring to the fact that Dark Samus was made from Phazon, so I imagine you would be fighting, like, dark characters and stuff. I guess that's what it is. You're, like, kind of partnered with dark characters and things. I guess that's what...
The Great Poison gives form.
Yeah, you're supposed to be partnered with evil and dark characters because Can is...
God damn it, Cat!
Hold on, cut.
Cutting back in.
So yeah, back to the game. It is, I guess,
it's like, your team...
You're supposed to be teamed up with, like, it's kind of evil clone characters because Can, his color, that's a color scheme based off Violent Can.
Mm-hmm. Cat. Damn it, Cat. Don't want to keep cutting.
Except Ivysaur is partnered with you here. Oh, goddamn, that's great.
Is it?
But, anyway, to explain the one, to, like, explain the thing about the one spirit and what... Oh, damn it. And why, like, the one spirit, like I said, was a holy shit moment for me. Basically, back in Melee...
I was gonna comment on that, too.
But basically, back in Melee, there were a few, like, trophies in that game that, at the time Melee came out, were games that were not out or not out in America, so their title was just future release. And because the title was future release, like, you know, I wouldn't know what game they were. I only knew the Animal Crossing characters because Animal Crossing continued, but there was this one trophy.
Damn it.
I can't remember its name. I think it was just like creature or something generic. It was basically like paper mache looking animal like that pig. That basically that trophy would go on to be something from a game called Cubivore, which was
That Squirtle had no chance in hell.
basically that spirit. It's from something called
Cubivores.
which is essentially a game that was released at like. The crazy thing about that future release thing, this is either like a result, it could be either dead wrong on.
I am just low-key ignoring the cat.
Also,
Also, we've got Luigi as the evil double.
but he's in his purple outfit, meaning that it's kind of supposed to be a stand-in for Waluigi. But why is like? Well, I guess he wouldn't be fighting Wario.
I wanted to throw that.
But anyway, the Cubivore thing, again, the two reasons...
Damn it.
The two reasons seeing that kind of gave me...
God! I lost track of my character. I saw, as I jumped off, I just kind of fell in the... Multiple characters on a big stage, I often get confused.
The weird thing about all of this is it's playing. And before I go back to talking about the Cubivore thing, it's playing the Luigi's Mansion music, and you're fighting Mario, Peach, and Daisy, and you're partnered with Luigi, but he's using
Shit.
But he's like using the Waluigi colors, meaning that I think he's kind of supposed to be like a stand-in for Waluigi, like I said.
Murder
Did
them.
they all walk into that?
Yeah, and I can't do shit. Good. Not the best Samus out there either.
If was any luck, they should kill themselves in a minute. After that explodes, if they get caught in that. There we go!
Where'd the cat go?
She's right here.
Oh. Hard to do commentary with the fucking cat.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you.
Oh, hey, look, Samus and Ridley.
Rook. Rookie.
Oh,
Rukia. Stop.
Okay, we're gonna have to boot.
Me yelling the name Rukia made me think that people used to think Chugga Conroy was yelling at the Nintendo character Kirby. Not a cat! No!
I remember that.
This is the best change where it's a free-for-all because Dark Samus, Ridley, and Samus would all kinda have...
They all kinda hate each other. Is Ridley just gonna die like a dumbass? Oh no, he didn't jump into it like a dumbass. Like the game is done by now that shenanigans have been dealt with. The other point I wanted to make about the Cubivore thing, besides
Cubivore.
Besides the fact of it just existing, the weirdest fucking thing was that it was like a game developed, I think, by like Atlas, but it was published by Nintendo, and the really weird thing, and if Melee, I don't know, like I said, I could be dead wrong about this, but, or this could just be the American release. I seem to remember that game being released in like 2005 or 2006, basically at the like rear end of the GameCube's lifespan, and if that was released on and like, you know, if that was a trophy in Melee that said
that means it was intent, like,
that means either the English release was super late, I'm remembering wrong, or the game kept getting delayed.
It is crazy, and that's a somewhat interesting comment. I know I'm not, like, super talkative because I was trying to focus, and we didn't have a lot to talk about.
And our fucking cat.
Because sometimes you don't have a lot to say.
And well, it still does, you have the thought and stuff put in, like,
it is
spirits. At the same time, the classic mode does get a little repetitive. That was where I was kind of trying to talk about, like, what the character's theme is.
Dark Samus! I'm one of the people who kind of feels Dark Samus really deserves her own moveset.
Well, you could have had them be a, like, semi-clone of...
You know what I mean!
Yeah. I honestly would have expected a few attacks from, like, the Dark Samus Assist Trophy to actually be carried over in their moveset. Like, I believe the Dark Samus Assist Trophy had, when they would, like, slam the ground,
Dark Samus really...
They could create these, like, spikes of phase on. I was expecting something like that to be a down smash. And
Dark Samus deserves a kind of semi-clone with phase on and a kind of power focus. Oh, Lord. So how about that Kingdom Hearts 3? Oh, like, I just wanted to, like, I'm not going to fully spoil Kingdom Hearts 3 in this, because that would kind of be a dick move, because I looked up spoilers, but all I have to say, some things happened, and, like, on and off, crazy theories.
All I will say is every theory is confirmed.
And a lot of stuff we said was right or close enough.
Well, that's all the top row done. It can't
be space pirates. This is one of my favorite costumes, because that's bad box art, Super Metroid Ridley.
Apparently the green one is a combination of, I think it was like, in the Super Metroid manual, Ridley is green and Kraid. It's like a combination of those two.
Because I was watching someone play Prime 2, I was reminded of how stupid the ammo count is. And then someone in the chat
I would have expected Samus to be his last opponent. But no.
Then someone in the chat, oh, the ammo count's not that bad, you're just...
I just love when stupid shit like that happens.
Then someone, oh, the ammo count's not that bad if you learn to conserve it. Why did a Metroid game need an ammo count outside of missiles?
Because Halo.
That's the...
And, like, I think Nintendo or Retro, like, one of the two parties, I don't remember which, one of them tries to say that that was not the reason for it, and it was like, the reason for the ammo count was apparently the developers didn't like people sticking to one beam in the original Metroid Prime. They, like, wanted players to constantly change beams because, most people just stick into one. Also, this is basically all the space characters. Just all good, random things. Well, I absolutely hate how the Pikmin series plays, like, as a game. A detail that basically
Jesus!
A detail that I love. The plot of the first Pikmin game was Olimar crashes on a planet and basically has an air supply that will only last him for 30 days. After that, it's essentially because he got back home and everything and safely returned, the scrap from basically Earth that he picked up was worth a lot of money on his home planet. So after that point, Olimar basically became a greedy whore that was constantly basically in the pursuit of capitalism.
No, he was forced to because his
after the events of Pikmin 2, remember they're back for Pikmin 3. Even after you save their debt in Pikmin 2.
Because, no, their boss keeps making them go back.
Because he keeps getting them into debt?
Yes.
You see, Pikmin is a commentary on capitalism. If you sweet spot Ridley's tail, that can do 50 damage. Yeah. That can do 50 damage.
I haven't used riddles in a minute. What?
Nothing.
It's riddles. We went over this when we earned riddles and Izzy.
Quite dangerous dinner. I guess Ridley does kind of look like Landia. Or however the fuck to say it.
Double fire.
You know, funny thing is when I was...
Oh, I just remembered Ridley's...
Also, pick up the lightning that will make him tiny. Or...
Fuck you, Ryzen.
I didn't know the lightning could misfire.
How did you forget about that?
What was the last time we played with lightning? Oh, I guess that would be why we turned it off.
Oh!
I forgot the lightning was either giant or tiny because we had never used it in Brawl for that exact reason.
Ah, man. But the ammo count thing is so dumb.
Anyways, the talk about the ammo count thing. As I said, I've seen...
Jesus!
I've seen... I could be dead wrong about this, but, like, the developers said something about it was basically, like, they didn't like people sticking to a single beam.
Oh, come on!
In, like, the original Metroid Prime.
God damn it!
So that was, like...
Damn it.
So that was, like, why they changed...
Damn it! Sometimes the game...
Well, that happened. So that was apparently the reason that they did the ammo thing, was to try and encourage the player to use the different beams, because, like, it was the way that the beams in, like, the original Metroid Prime work. I believe it's no beam is technically stronger, or, like, the ones that are stronger do.
Metroid? No, Metroid Prime!
The wave beam is weaker than the power beam, but the wave beam shoots faster. The ice beam is stronger, but it's the slowest and has the freezing effect. And then... what happened? And then the plasma beam is, like, right in between, I believe, power and ice. But it has, like, I think it's the third slowest firing, but it burns things.
Plasma beam is the strongest beam.
I remember something saying it was actually, it's technically weaker than the ice beam.
It's really not. But its fire rate is so damn good, it doesn't fucking matter.
Its fire rate is apparently supposed to be lower than the, like, a power beam, but not maybe that's what I was thinking of. It's not that its power is in between ice and power beam, it's that its fire rate is. But apparently, because people would just, like, stick to one beam instead of, like, constantly shifting, that was why the developers did the change. It's, supposedly, which they don't inherently have a problem with that. Yeah, giving the beams ammo count could have been interesting, because that could have given the beams more uses, like with them being incredibly strong, or enemies having, like, weaknesses to the beams or something. So, it's basically...
No, not... I hate its recovery!
Hey, it's better than Incineroar's. Incineroar's recovery is literal garbage.
Ridley.
But anyway, the base idea of the beams having ammo, I feel that's not inherently a bad idea, because, again, if, like, the beams have ammo, if that was to make up for their extra strength, or enemies having, like, weaknesses to the beams, that would be fine. And,
If you
and the game does do that, but the problem with the beams is, and now granted this was done to also, again, keep the player from sticking to one beam, but this still kinda has the opposite effect. Metroid Prime 2 is literally programmed. If you kill things with the light beam, they drop dark beam ammo.
Yeah. And vice versa, and it's so stupid. But it's very dumb because you end up in a situation where you're not constantly kind of getting ammo in the way a good first-person shooter would give you ammo. Or the shit like the Doom 2016 has this great system. As you hit things, they'll start glowing, where you get a glory kill.
If you then run up and melee them, you get health and ammo back.
And a quick kill.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great.
Yes.
And I actually, unironically mean, it's great.
You still have Peach and Daisy. Or we could do Falcon to complete the top of... Let's start going in the order of the rows. You have to play Fabulous Falcon. There is no other Captain Falcon costume.
But the Blood Falcon. It's time for the question of the day, my overall thoughts on the topic. So, anyway, do you guys agree with me that Dark Samus should have had a more original moveset based on the Dark Samus boss fights from Metroid Prime 2? In my opinion, those boss fights offered a well of attacks you could have easily pulled from. I always imagined Dark Samus would be a slower, more powerful Samus that attacks with Phazon moves that were based on the different Dark Samus boss fights, but they decided to make Dark Samus an Echo Fighter, and that personally bothers me. Dark Samus deserves way better, because Dark Samus easily had a very good set of moves that they could have used but decided not to. But anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. My social media links are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and leave some comments. If you want to keep up with our videos, hit the subscription button and ring the notification bell. And if you follow me on social media, that helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. See you all next time.